One day, Mandy was obsessed with Kung Fu, so she decided to enter a competition. She first asked Grim for help, but he instantly refused. Annoyed, Mandy stormed off, but luck was on her side. A mysterious shopkeeper was willing to help her. The competition began, and Mandy dominated the arena, throwing out every opponent one by one. However, Grim sensed something fishy. It didn't take him long to discover that Mandy's sudden power boost was due to her enemy, Eris. Instead of stopping Eris, Grim decided to join her and bring some chaos himself. Meanwhile, Mandy was eagerly waiting for her next challenger. That's when Grim, in a mischievous move, pulled Billy away from his video game and sent him into the arena. A fierce battle began between the two. During the fight, Mandy unleashed her energy aura just like Goku from Dragon Ball. The result? The entire world was completely destroyed. But on the bright side, Mandy still received her full prize for winning the competition. One day, Grim had a high fever, and seeing his condition, Mandy felt sorry for him. Without wasting a moment, she started searching for a cure. Soon, she discovered that the only way to heal Grim was to take him to the underworld hospital. Despite Grim's repeated refusals, Mandy dragged him there. Things took a wild turn when everyone in the hospital saw Grim's fever and ran away in fear. The situation escalated when the doctors immediately rushed him to the operation theater. After hours of struggle, the doctors finally broke some shocking news. Grim was no longer a skeleton. He had turned into a living human. Feeling miserable, Grim returned to the normal world. At first, he was upset about his new life, but when he noticed that girls were now impressed by him, he decided to embrace his human form happily. However, there was a serious downside. Grim was no longer a Grim Reaper, nor could he use his magic anymore. Sometime later, Billy's mother started treating Grim like her own child, which angered Billy's father. Unable to tolerate it, he knocked Grim out with a powerful punch. At that moment, Grim finally realized that he was better off as a skeleton. Fortunately for him, his wish came true when an infected green slime covered his body, turning him back into a bone-chilling Grim Reaper once again. Did you know? Grim already knew he'd be Billy and Mandy's slave, but still couldn't save himself. As a child, Grim was more interested in singing than reaping, but neither his father nor his mother liked it. In the end, burdened by expectations, he had to become the Grim Reaper. His first job was taking the soul of a caveman who got crushed under a wheel. That was the first time he sent a soul to the underworld. He kept doing this for days until he met an old woman who prophesied his future. One day, he would become a slave to two kids. Those kids were Billy and Mandy. But Grim didn't take it seriously and forgot about it. Unknowingly, he walked right into his fate, eventually becoming Billy and Mandy's slave. Did you know? Mandy actually fell in love once during the entire show. One day, Mandy met Billy's new friend, and this guy was so cool that she instantly fell into one-sided love. With no other option but to escape from this overwhelming feeling, Mandy ran straight to the doctor, only to find out that she had been struck by the terrifying disease called love. So she did the only logical thing, went straight to Grim and demanded a cure. Now Grim had full creative freedom to treat Mandy however he wanted. And what did he do? He gave her a complete makeover. A while later, Mandy, now looking extra fancy, marched up to the cool dude. And guess what? The moment he saw her, he fell for her too. But instead of confessing her love, Mandy did what Mandy does best. She completely rejected him and sent him running. Why? Because she wanted revenge. She made him fall for her just so she could crush his heart and satisfy her ego. Did you know? Once Mandy went so crazy that she ended up kissing her own mom. One night, Billy was watching a horror TV show where a ghost had possessed a man. Instead of just getting scared like a normal person, he had a brilliant idea. He wondered if Grim could use his magic to transfer a soul from one body to another. Grim, always eager to show off, decided to try it out on a cat, and surprisingly, it worked. Seeing this, Billy got excited and attempted to jump into his dad's mind. Naturally, he failed, but when he tried the same trick on Mandy, it actually worked. Now trapped inside Mandy's body, Billy wasted no time creating absolute chaos. He ran around acting completely out of character, embarrassed Mandy in public, mistakenly walked into the boys' washroom instead of the girls', and, for some reason, even kissed Mandy's mom. As expected, Mandy's reputation took a serious hit, all thanks to Billy's nonsense. But Billy was too busy enjoying himself to care. Later that night, after the magic had worn off, he was all set for a peaceful sleep. But just when he thought it was all over, his cat appeared in front of him. Except it wasn't really a cat. It was Mandy, who had just pulled the same soul-swapping trick on him. And let's just say Billy had no idea what was coming next. Did you know? Billy learned the hard way why you should always get your eyes checked. One day, Billy stared at the sun for so long that his eyes practically exploded into fireballs. Later, he stumbled into the canteen, but instead of grabbing food, he picked up trash to eat. That's when Mandy realized Billy's eye battery had officially run out. To test his vision, Mandy asked him to count her fingers, but Billy got it wrong every time. So she insisted he see a doctor. Billy refused refused, but Mandy, well, let's just say she gently encouraged him by force. At the clinic, things took a weird turn. The doctor, instead of fixing Billy's eyes, somehow ended up destroying his own. In sheer panic, Billy bolted home, and that's when Grim had to step in to fix the mess. Grim worked his magic, and Billy's eyesight improved, sort of. Now he could see into the future. At school, he had a terrifying vision. Mandy's head getting chopped off. Naturally, he freaked out, only to later discover Mandy had just been practicing with a guillotine. You know, normal hobbies. Despite this, Billy remained terrified of medical treatment and kept running away. Fed up, Grim finally caught him and cast another spell on his eyes. This time, instead of fixing them, Billy's eyes started looking weirdly realistic, like actual human eyes. This moment was hands down one of the creepiest episodes in cartoon history. One day, Billy was bored out of his mind, so he decided to hang out with Mandy and Grim. But of course, they were too busy with their own stuff, leaving Billy feeling a little lonely and setting off on a quest to find a new friend. And just when you think things couldn't get weirder, Billy bumps into a brain-eating alien monster who's eager to make him his bestie. But here's the catch. This alien has one condition. Billy has to help him feed on human brains. And surprise, surprise, Billy, being the genius that he is, starts dancing to the alien's tune. He even tricks countless people into coming to the alien's lair, where they get their brains devoured. But wait, there's more. Billy eventually tries to pull the same stunt with Mandy. However, this time the alien's plan backfires. While the alien does manage to eat Mandy's brain, it couldn't handle her sharp mind, and soon enough, Mandy takes full control of the alien. And here's the plot twist. Now Mandy is the one telling Billy to bring her more human brains. And of course, Billy, being Billy, just nods along like a loyal little minion. Because who wouldn't trust Mandy with an alien army, right? Did you know? One time, Billy tried to extend an olive branch to his enemy, and it totally backfired on him. One day, Billy saw his bully classmate, Spurg, picking on his friend Erwin. So being the brave soul he is, or maybe just trying to avoid more embarrassment, Billy decided to confront Spurg, but predictably, he got nervous and his pants almost fell down. Classic Billy move. But then, seeing Spurg escalate his bullying antics, Billy decided to bring in the big guns. Grim. But plot twist. Spurg turned the tables and started bullying Grim instead. At this point, Billy was probably just hoping the ground would swallow him whole. Things took a turn when Spurg came face to face with Mandy. He saw her, screamed, and ran off crying. Billy thought, hey, that's my chance. And in an attempt to be the bigger person, he extended the hand of friendship to Spurg. Now, their friendship actually went decently for a while, until Spurg eventually started bullying Billy again. One day, Mandy was so upset by Mindy's words that she decided to become cute herself. Determined, she went straight to Grim for help. But instead of helping her, Grim burst into laughter at her decision. However, seeing the never-ending rivalry between Mandy and Mindy, Grim finally agreed to assist her. He took her to a special makeup artist. But the twist? The artist herself needed a makeover. Grim, though, knew better than to underestimate her. So Mandy carefully listened to what the artist had to say. The first rule of looking cute? Smiling. Now, this was Mandy's ultimate weakness. But despite the challenge, she agreed to smile on stage. At first, she was incredibly nervous, struggling to force a grin. But with Grim's subtle signals from the sidelines, she finally managed to pull it off. And the moment she smiled, everyone was instantly mesmerized by her beauty. Suddenly, a blinding white light flashes across the screen, engulfing everything. When the light fades, we see a Powerpuff Girls parody unfold. Now our three characters are fully transformed, suited up like the Powerpuff Girls, ready to take on the world. Billy and Mandy suddenly appear. They are here to fight a case against each other, and the reason? The custody of Grim. As the case begins, Billy starts narrating what happened 5 hours ago. Thanks to his usual antics, his entire house was destroyed. But surprisingly, his parents didn't seem to care much. Why? Because Billy's dad had been transferred to a new city, and the whole family was moving away. Billy was heartbroken. He didn't want to be separated from Mandy. But in the end, he said goodbye to her and took Grim along with him. However, Mandy was having none of it. Grim was her slave, and she wasn't about to let Billy take him away. What started as an argument quickly escalated, and before they knew it, they landed in court. Billy calls Erwin as his witness. At first, Erwin supports him, but the moment he sees Mandy's death stare, he gets completely confused. Mandy, on the other hand, summons multiple people who testify against Billy. They all describe how irresponsible and reckless he is, constantly causing chaos wherever he goes. Now, it's Billy's turn. He brings in witnesses against Mandy, including his own parents, who reveal something shocking. They are terrified of Mandy. This revelation damages Mandy's reputation in front of the entire court. And the verdict is a tie? After all the drama, the judge decides to put the final decision to a vote, but the results end in a tie. Now the responsibility falls on Fred, who ultimately decides that Grim shouldn't belong to just Billy or Mandy. He should stay with both of them. In the end, Billy and Mandy agree with the verdict, and their intense courtroom battle finally comes to an end.